It's your boy Dame D, and today I'm going to be joined by a guest who was brought in by Donald Trump to be a guest at the Congression at Congress yesterday. I'll allow
hmm
my guest to go on ahead and introduce himself to the show.
I never Joseph Knowles.
Okay, okay. What up, Joe?
Uh,
Thanks for coming to the show. I want to thank you first and
uh,
foremost. I know you've been a busy man. You've been a lightweight celebrity. I seen you all on Fox News and other networks that brought you in today. So I want to thank you first and foremost for coming on the What Up Though show today.
anything for you, man. I got you.
Okay, okay. So look, this is my first question. A lot of people, for those who don't know, he was invited by Donald Trump himself, as a guest for Donald Trump's speech at Congress yesterday. For those who don't know, so I'll allow him to, elaborate a little bit. But I'm going to ask this first question. This first question that I'm going to ask you, Joe, is kind of tied into two questions. But first and foremost, this is probably the number one question most people want to know. You as a black man, um, knowing with all the things that Donald Trump has been going on through this past presidential election and this political election, he just recently beat Kamala Harris, so a lot of black folks tend to, vote Democrat, so the number one question I want to ask you, and the number one question a lot of people who probably saw you and heard your speech and want to know, you as a black man, and most black people vote Democratic, or vote for the Democrat. So with all the things like I said that's been going on with Trump, with the racism that some people call him, they call him a racist, and he's not for the for the black people or the black party, I should say. So tell people and this is like I said, this ties into two questions. What interest Donald Trump into bringing you to be a special guest at Congress yesterday?
I'll say this. I think what they reached out to me because of CNN a CNN video that happened in late last year. I got laid off from Solantis. So me getting laid off, I'm in the UAW groups. I guess I have plenty of time. So I'm in the groups. Just seeing different union members complaining about Donald Trump, Kamala Harris uh, debates, and
Right.
I'm into that. So I was commenting. I made a couple points, which blew up on I think it's the main UAW page, and it blew up.
Okay.
And I believe now that a lot of our pages are being watched by the government, and think it's being watched by the news organizations like
Oh, most
CNN.
definitely.
Oh, it was, and I knew that because I got reached out by them. So this one particular post was just talking about uh, what will Trump do because he was making promises throughout the year through his campaign. Hey, we are going to save the automotive industry. And at that particular time, I went to a Trump rally in Warren, so I was very motivated after going to that Trump rally. So I'm in
Okay.
the group chats. I'm pretty much regurgitating the things that he said, and it just sparked a very bad debate. In a way, it was good for me because it got the exposure out there, but in a bad way, I started taking a lot of hits,
All
you
right.
know, from white women and black men,
All right.
more black women as well. So I just take a lot of hits, and I guess CNN was somebody from CNN must have been on there because they was just reading the debate. That debate, me going against other people, it was like 20,000 going back and forth response, 20,000. And CNN got interested. So they messaged me and said, hey, you vote for Donald Trump. Uh, can we hear more about that? And that's how it started. That's how I led all the way to today.
Mm. Now, do you mind? repeating some of the things that you spoke in your speech. That way a little people can get a little bit familiar with
for
why
CNN.
Donald Trump chose you to come and speak, or just why he chose your
Well,
speech, or
the
invited you
CN,
to come.
like I said, it came from the CNN interview with John King. They, like I said, they reached out to me. CNN and John King set up. Well, his staff set up a arrangement where, hey, can we come to the city? We come to Michigan. That's a swing state,
Right,
and we like what you said on UAW. We want to hear more about you and want to hear more about voters like you. And when they say voters like you, they were really referring to black man that is an auto
right,
worker,
okay,
because they know that the unions is going to be the swing of what if whoever can win, it will take the union votes. So we set it up. They came to my house. I'm out here in Macomb County. They came to my house. I pretty much said they asked me a whole bunch of questions. And one of the questions was, "You voted for Democrat your whole life since I was 18 years old." My first election that I voted for was with John Kerry. That was my first election. John
okay,
Kerry was voting was running against George Bush, and I voted for John Kerry, and he
right,
lost. He lost, and Bush got a second term. But that's how to ask that question. And so as an auto worker, and pretty much as a black man, but I didn't say that. You vote for Trump. What did Trump say to you that made you switch over from being a Democrat for 20 years?
right. See, and
I
that's
just
and that's probably what a lot of people wanting to know. Coming from you as a black man, how could and it's a lot of people wanting that. And I'm going to ask you that question too. Have you been getting a lot of flack? From black people, or just your union brothers and sisters, himself
Mhm.
for supporting Trump.
Yeah. I So continuing what I was saying, because it's going to get to that question,
Okay, go ahead.
is that I got laid. So on that page, I was going off and then going against people, and for my own union brothers, I was hearing, "I'm a sellout." How do you vote for against your own interests? The Democratic Party is for unions. Trump is not for unions. They regurgitated different things for with Trump saying about killing the unions and stuff like that. So I saw, I just was seeing sound bites from that YouTube clips. People just reminded me that, hey, he's not for the union. But I had to regurgitate and say, hey, Joe Biden's not for the unions either. And no, did he say that? No, he did not say that. But his policies are working against us. So I started taking a lot of hit. So to answer that question, I started taking a lot of hit from my union brothers, family, friends. Uh, then I'm a sellout. You get to
Right,
work. Anytime a black person do anything that's different
right.
from
You a
what
sellout.
you're a sellout, you're a coon. You get
Right.
that coon. Now I used to use that word coon a lot. You know, because I was a Will D fan. If anybody
Right,
listen to Will D will be quick to call you a coon, call Charles
right,
Barkley, Stephen A. Smith a coon. And so I was even singing this song. Remember, Will D had a song, "You're a coon, you're a coon, you're a coon."
right,
So uh, I started hearing that. And the more that people attack me in that area, the more I start doing more research on the Democrats. I mean, I've been that
right.
way for my whole life, so I started doing more into that. And guess what? I found out that, hey, not Donald Trump, but I found out that Joe Biden, he did a lot of things against us, starting back in the early '80s until
Yeah,
now.
a lot of people don't talk about, and I
Nope.
know and I'll allow you to elaborate about that. And it probably had something to do with that three strikes and you're out, that law that he put in effect that, like locked millions of black men up, back in the early 80s. I don't know if you was getting ready to elaborate about that, but before you go get off into that,
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah,
say
I
one
wasn't going there.
thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I want to say one thing. A lot of our own people, get upset and try to play the racist card, with Trump. But what they don't realize is, and one thing that you were there for, you and we definitely gonna get off on that too a little later, that you was
Yeah,
there
yeah,
to speak on the behalf of the auto industry,
yeah,
and a lot of people try to give people like you bad flack, but what they don't realize is the Biden administration were the ones who put in the regulations for all these electric cars that was pretty much getting ready to put us out of business. Reason why the Chrysler itself lost a lot of profit sharing this upcoming year because of product. You know what I mean? So a lot
yeah.
of people was laid off. A lot of people was not called back to work. They try to blame Donald Trump for this when all and actually that falls on a Biden administration. So I want you to elaborate that about that a little bit more. Because those are one of the things that you spoke about on Fox News today. That if a lot of people that hear now, they'll be able to hear you speak about that a little bit more.
So um, that is absolutely true. If the company is going, the whole auto industry is going into less work, less labor, more production. And how you do that is you bring in, if you notice, and we where we work at, there's a whole bunch of machines that does a lot of the work. So
Right,
it's from lifting the car to putting the glass on the car. I mean, like the main glass, or just doing other things.
right,
That's where the company is going towards. And if we would have went EV, you will only need about 40% of our workers,
right,
which is where the future is going anyway. Everyone going AI. Every business and industry is trying to go AI, try to go into where machine can do most of the work. Why? You don't have to pay as much labor and benefits. So
right,
I'm seeing where the world is heading to. Now, I'm against EV for two reasons. One of them, for my own self-interest. Hey, it's gonna take me out of the job. This is a middle class
exactly,
job. This is a middle class job where I can afford to be able to live a good, comfortable life. I mean, comfortable in my opinion is being able to pay your bills, drive a nice car, take a couple of vacations a year. And what the policy that the Democrats was doing was eliminating us to be able to afford that lifestyle. My grandfather had 43 years in GM. 43 years in GM. He was able to pay for my auntie to go to full college out of his pocket.
right,
One went to Wayne State, another went to University of Michigan. Guess what? He was able to do that on a union job at GM in Pontiac, and then
mm,
GM at Fleck because he worked both places. So I imitated my grandfather. That's what I wanted. And that's the goal and dream of mine, is to be able to do the exact same thing that my grandfather did. That was my role model. So I saw that job going down the drain. So yes, I get the sellout, I get the coon, I get all the things because I believe a lot of them people are ignorant.
right,
You ignorant because you won't do the research. You're ignorant because you won't even try to see uh, or learn what's going on. They eliminating us.
yeah.
And
Because most of
go
our
ahead.
people just go off of no, not to cut you off. You're 100 absolutely 100% right. Because most of the Democrats, they just go off of hearsay and just and follow the flock. You know what I mean? Most our
Mhm,
people really don't even do the research on both of the candidates. They just go off of what the stars, or whatever black person that they put in front of
mhm.
us, to tell us to vote. But go ahead and finish elaborating. I did not mean to cut you off.
Oh, you good, man. Just like the automotive industry, a lot of the Democrats for years has been feeding into our emotions. Everything's about emotion, and there has been no substance behind it. To get you motivated, to get you wound up, is how Black people has been controlled all these years. If I tell you, hey, they don't like you, they put dogs on you, right? You get in your emotion, and you get so caught up on that part of it, but you don't. They haven't said now one thing that helped better your life. And that's really what's been going on for all these years. We've been
Yeah,
just so caught up on the emotional side of the politics, and we haven't even thought about anything past that. Our
right.
emotions has been Our vote has been driven directly behind emotions. Emotions, empty promises. And guess what? They only come around that last year and a half before election. They start saying this, they start saying that, they start giving us a little bit. That's what Michael X said. They will only give you a little bit. They will only give you a little bit and give you just enough to keep you coming back.
Exactly. And while we're on Democrats, let's talk about them a little bit. And before we go any further, I
Yeah.
need for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We are joined with special guest today, Joseph Knowles. He was invited yesterday to be at Congress to be in front of Trump while he give his speech. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, let's talk about how the Democrats act yesterday. You had
Yeah. Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy.
it was definitely.
That is
I'm not going
crazy.
to say well, I'll say a disgrace. How they band together. When Trump was given basically talking about the orders that he's put in effect. And then just not only that. Let's talk about. The people that he brought there, which you were one of them, how they
Yeah.
disrespected, how they did not stand together. You had people who were there who had lost their lives. You had a young man that was there beside you, the cancer patient, the young man, and then you yourself, the only black man besides the young man there. I want you to talk about that. And before I give Pastor Mike back over to you, to me, it's already showing the country that 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 the two sides are already divided. Before we even get off into a month, off into this new presidency,
Yeah.
that we have coming into all. Coming into play. So I need you to elaborate. You were there in person. Tell the people, how the Democrats, were out there acting. And then you even saw where I forget the other man who was actually escorted out of there by the sergeant of arms.
And you talking
So go
about
ahead and
Al
elaborate.
Green. Al
Yeah,
Green, not
Al
the
Green.
singer
Yep.
Al Green, the House of Representative Al Green, not the singer, not the
Right.
pastor Al Green.
Right. Not the
We got to
singer.
clear it up. He ain't, not the pastor Al Green.
Right.
Um, so yes, I was invited. Like I said, I was invited based on that CNN interview. It was just a black man that was very outspoken. Made a little noise on CNN where some people had record seen me, and they was. I think that, like I said, I think Donald Trump then was intrigued by me too. And I just be honest, a black man was very vocal, working in the auto industry. That's pretty Democrat ran, and they
Right.
were just wanting to hear what I had to say too. But I'm gonna keep it real. They didn't get a chance. They no, okay. I did do an interview at the White House, and I did a 15-second clip. You can see that on whitehouse.gov. But their agenda was, for one, is to connect me to the black vote, connect me to black people. So
Exactly.
that was why I was there. That's not saying because I was intelligent. No, I ain't that.
Right.
It's more of just showing that,
Pretty
hey,
much like what you said to show the representation of
yeah,
of the black man. Having
yeah,
a Republican vote or having his
yeah.
vote, I should say.
So um back to the Democrats. So they interviewed me. I did a 15. I did like actually the clip was about 20 minutes long, but you see on the U is about 15, 20-second clip. But anyhow, I went to the Capitol building. You see everyone. Now, when we walked in, guess what? Once you get through clearance,
Hmm.
if you get into the White House, you get into the Capitol. So we had our little White House badges and stuff and went to the Capitol building. When you can walk down, they escort you upstairs into the Capitol. I'm on the third level of the Capitol.
Right.
You can walk past anybody at any given time. I'm talking about anybody with any name you walk past. Elon Musk walked past me. His Secret Service. You see the DE the ICE, head of ICE, he walking past you. You see Trump kids walking past you. And his son with his wife walking past you. It's just like everybody on the same playing field at that moment when we walking in there.
Right.
Nobody knows. Everybody know who they are, but if they don't know who you are, they probably wondering who you are. But if you got in here, you must be someone important. So that's how it looks in there. You
Right.
literally can walk past anyone. It's security and navigating where you should go. But anyhow, Just
Right.
want to give you the insight of how the capital thing go.
How it works.
But
Okay.
yeah, so we got in
Well,
there. It's seated, so everybody has seating. Everybody have a ticket with your name seated because the government need to know where everybody at all given times and where you sitting at all given times. It's all programmed. The
so it's
cameraman
pretty much
know
all
where you at.
staged.
Yeah. So if they need this, they say, "Hey, Joseph knows," which they did not do. But they
Right.
will say, "Hey, Joseph knows." They will already had a camera, will already know where to go and where to look
Already
to
set on
find.
you. Wow.
Already,
Yeah.
it's all seated. This is what people know that it's
Right.
already seated.
Well,
So
back to what we were saying, Joe. Let the people
yeah,
know how the Democrats,
yeah.
how when
I just want to get a
Trump was out there
backstory of that.
giving his speech. Yeah, how they sat down, didn't stand. For even for people who lost their lives, fought in wars, cancer patients and things like that, and even you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
So um, they started the they started. Okay, so I'm in the same role. I'm in the same two roles of First Lady Elon Musk. They wouldn't let me in there until after the First Lady got was seated. After she was seated, then I was able to go in there. At that particular moment, it was already starting. You can hear the head of the house hitting this thing.
Speaker of the House, right?
Yeah, you can hear
Yeah.
him hit it to get things going. Like, hey, we in motion now. We starting up. I
Right.
couldn't see that part because I
Okay.
couldn't. I couldn't go in there unless First Lady sit down first. But anyhow, we outside. I'm outside standing up, waiting to be seated. But I couldn't get seated. Like I said, the First Lady get in there. I'm already here, Reverend, not Reverend. I'm already here, Al Green
Al. Yeah, Al
going
Green. Yeah.
off. I'm hearing him going off. You could hear him before he even started. He was ready to. He was already on fire. We walked up in there.
Right.
So you start seeing people walking in. The last person that walked in before it started was Bob Kennedy.
Okay.
The head of the health
Right.
Kennedy. So anyway, so the Democrats was already on fire. You start seeing we okay, so the Capitol is all level and two sides on the floor. You got one side is all Democrat, and then you got one side that was all Republican.
Right.
So the side I was sitting on was all
Was all
Republican.
Republican.
Yes. So I didn't know that. I mean, I guess I kind of did. I watch this on TV on a regular basis. Not gonna say
Right,
regular
because
basis,
you
but
could
I watch
see
it.
the side
Yeah.
of the Republicans who were standing up and the
hmm
Democrats who did not stand, who actually was holding up the signs
So
trying to communicate.
I wanted to give the back. I wanted to explain that to you so you can understand that it's Democrats on one side, Republicans on the other side. So I kind of seen the energy. I didn't know which one was who because you can't see it unless you really know politics and know who is who. You can't
Right,
tell. But all the liveliness, happiness, excitement was on the side I was on. Republican side. I put two and two together. Okay, I'm on the Republican side. And you saw all the Democrats on one side just sitting there on cold. I got to give that to them. They was on cold. It was quiet. Didn't show no emotions. They was
at all.
already it was already planned. They already was planning out how they was gonna do this. I believe it was already scripted. They already knew how they was gonna do it. So I just thought so when Trump said his first line, he went off even more. We talk about Al Green. He went off even more. And you start seeing other people, like this guy from Michigan. What is his name? He's a he's a House of Representative of Michigan. He's an Indian guy. He represents
I think
Detroit
I
and
know who you're
Dearborn.
talking about, but I can't think of his name. But before we go any further, we got a
Yeah.
few people that's been chatting and coming in.
Okay.
We got BJ Burnell J. He want to know what do you guys think about DEI?
DEI, as a black person, you will automatically say, why would you want to get rid of DEI?
Right.
Why would you want to do that? It's supposed to be diversity, equity, and inclusion. Why would you want to get rid of that? We already have a hard time getting jobs. You have a hard time of being accepted. So give rid of something like that will hurt you. It hasn't helped us.
That was my question.
Show me where that benefit in you or I in a normal life. Tell me how that help you out. Tell me how that help you out at work. Tell me how that help you out when you go into your doctor office. Tell me how that diversity, equity, inclusion have helped you out personally. So then I was like, okay. At first I was like, dang man, they going. At first I was like, okay, now I'm new to the Republican thing. So when you hear somebody going after DEI, like, dang, it's all the things you can go through. Why would you want to start there? So I started doing my research. I realized DEI sound like it's for black people, but it's not.
All right. When you actually do your research, I mean, you make it, they make it sound like it's something set in place to be able to help,
Black
blacks
people,
get off into certain groups like CEO positions and things like that. The average
jobs,
person, black
high, yeah,
person is not going to be
positions.
a CEO. You know what I
No,
mean? And not saying it like that, but it's positions that most of the general population probably would not see. You know what I mean? So
I agree.
that, like you said, it's really not, it was not helping, the average person out anyway.
No, you ask anybody what did DEI, they will only regurgitate what they heard. But be honest, to the government, this is the government website. DEI only benefits mainly two people: white women, white man. Then you start seeing a Chinese woman.
When it was
Nothing.
put in order
If you
supposedly
just, it's
to
like
help
10. We was
people of
like
color.
number 7. Where it benefit is it was like number 7 for in the level of who would benefit the most. Why is it there?
Mm,
I mean, white people already have the protection. Why does us? The DEI was to bring them back into the fold. Remember, we had affirmative action, we had all those things that was helping us out. And you see, they got rid of that.
right.
The DEI was just to give them back their spot. It was for
Okay.
them. It was never for us.
All right. Well,
Never.
hopefully that answers your question, Burnell J. You know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely want to get back to how the Democrats did not show no
Yeah.
respect, for the guests yesterday. They did not stand up, and it's pretty much like you said, it was all planned, pre-planned from
Yeah,
the
I think so.
beginning, from when they
They was
came
on.
out.
That's about the first time I see Democrats on the same page.
Right.
They was all on the same page from everywhere,
All on
and you
accord,
knew. Yeah.
just to be against, this man giving a speech in front of his guests in Congress. But my next question I'm gonna ask you: how did it feel, to be there with the guests, and hear the different stories from the cancer patients, from the young women that lost their father and their husbands. I believe I forgot he was. I don't think I think he was a soldier, or he got some rebel forces or something like that may have got to him or whatnot, but tell us like what it felt like to be there to hear those stories, and then what it felt like to be a black man invited, and to be amongst people like Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and those people like that.
So, um, like I said, when when they select all of us, they had an agenda. And they know that Trump was going to speak about all those things. So they try to get everyone and everything he's going to talk about. They try to get a family or someone there so he can highlight, like, hey, this is the person that's been. Okay, I'm saying this, but here's another person that went through this. So a lot of those stories was heartbreaking, man. You got one guy was a border patrol guy. And him and his partner was attacked because you don't remember when Donald Trump said he raising war against the cartel. The cartel sent a threat to the president. He told the
Right.
president, the cartel sent a threat to the president, said we're going to kill you and get a chance, and we are going to attack you. And they start that one when they that's particular day they start shooting at border patrol agents in Texas. So that's how he got shot. So anyhow, oh, that's how he got ambushed based on the threat that they made against the president. But anyhow, I met a family like that. I met another family where DJ was 13-year-old boy. He received cancer based on something that the government had in place back Democrat policies that caused him to have some type of brain cancer. It was some chemical. Not hundred
Right.
percent sure about it. Cause I so much I can't remember all that. But it was based on something that was in policy that was in place, and he got a hold to it, and that messed up his brain.
Mm.
So based on policy, that's how that happened with him. You had another one, Lincoln Riley. Uh, her husband was shot and killed by illegal immigrants. It was a legal immigrant who shot and killed her husband. So and he also was a father. The daughter was there too. Then you have another
Wow.
guy there that was a Russian. He was a Russian. He was a Russian teacher, like teaching in Russia, I believe, and he got in prison a made up charge, and he was in prison over there for a long time, maybe like 10 years or something. I don't remember, but he was in prison. Donald Trump did a campaign in Philadelphia for saying, I'm gonna get him back." He was there. 'Cause Donald Trump promised them when he get him out, when he get into office and get him out. That's exactly what happened. He's out of Russian prison as a change, and the mother was there to keep his promise to the woman, to the mother. Then we have another
Mm.
guy. We have other people there that had a young girl that was in. He was competing in women's kids women's sports, and she got beat up really badly by a transgender man.
Oh wow.
Remember, you know that transgender was trying to get into women's sports. Man was
Right.
trying to get a
Yeah.
women's. Well, he did, and he hit her so hard, and
Get
these
get this
low
brain
this
damage. I saw that story. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what happened to her. And then
And I want to and I want to
yeah,
ask you about that. They did not. And those are laws that they put in when the
exactly.
Democrats was in administration. A lot of that stuff went on. That he's actually reversing. But they couldn't even stand up. To even congratulate. You know, the young man, the cancer patient. The young lady who was able. To fight back from that injury. You know what I mean? And just and I guess I just want you to elaborate a little bit more, like on just how disappointing, you know, um, that was to the American people to show how divided, that 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 the Senate and Congress is. Getting ready to
What
start a
what
new year already divided.
what have the Democrats always focused on? Emotion part, right? We are connected to you. We are the common daily folks. 'Cause when they talk about the Republicans, they refer to Republicans as billionaires. That's unrelatable to the average daily common person. Democrats were supposed to be we rich, but we can relate. We really from like we come from the same area you come from. So when you hear, I'm just gave you a few. It was more people that I can go in detail if you want, but it was other people that were saying were issues based on government policies, right?
Right. Yeah.
So the
But
Democrats is supposed to be mainly go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
The Democrats is supposed to be relatable, right?
Right.
Remember, Republicans are being there unrelatable, but Democrats relatable. And so I'm already with an attitude with like, hey, leave the Democrats. They gonna clap or do something. Man, they didn't move. They
Yeah.
didn't move. They,
It was
Bernie
it was
Sanders,
crazy to
I
see
can
them
see
out there.
Bernie.
I don't think it was funny, not to cut you off, but it was funny to see them out there behaving like that, not standing at all. Not showing no emotions. Through all the guests that
Yeah.
Donald Trump brought in. Hearing all their stories. It was just I'm just gonna say a disgrace.
You,
And something like that should never happen.
you got Elizabeth Warren. I can see him from where I'm sitting at. Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren was sitting next to each other. And she was clapping, not in support, but to be disruptive.
Right.
You saw Bernie Sanders. I don't know if he was on his phone or whatever he was on, but he never looked up. He was on that the whole time.
Mm.
This is after Trump was highlighting what happened to these people and people praising them and everything like that. You see the Democrats putting up signs. Liar,
Right. We saw
not
that.
true. Liars, not true. I said. liars and not true. They didn't do it like with their hands up like this. They had it like this.
Yeah, they had
There,
the signs up. You can see it right there on TV. The cameras was pointing right dead at him every time. He would say something, and their response would be, with the signs that they would put up. But yeah, we got
the
a few people.
paddles, the
I need
paddles.
you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We are joined by Joseph Knowles. He was invited by Congress, to be there in front of Donald Trump while he gave his speech in front of Congress. So we're just sitting here getting a few questions from him. He was pretty much, there, so he's giving us the inside scoop on what he thought, how the Democrats behave, how they acted, and just giving us his thoughts on, the whole the trip down there and everything. So go ahead, Joseph. I'll let you elaborate a little bit more. You
Yeah,
know, uh,
cool. So you saw everything he was saying. I get it. This is how the politics stuff works. I ain't mad about that. That you heckling because it was heckling, and they always taking turns. And I saw maybe black women that was in the house. I don't know where they're from exactly, but you hear them saying comments. And when they were saying comments, guess who was getting egged on even more? Al Green.
right.
So
Yeah.
the
And for
first
people,
5 minutes. Go ahead.
yeah, for people don't know, it's not the singer Al Green, it's the
No, not the
the
singer.
representative Al Green.
No.
And for those who did not see the speech at Congress, they had to walk this man up out of there. He was so
The
disruptive.
sergeant at arms. The sergeant
Yeah,
at
the
arms
sergeant of
walked him out
arms
of
had to
there.
come out and walk him up out of there. But go ahead, Joseph.
He couldn't even get into 5 minutes into the session without being interrupted. So that was Fox News actually mentioned to me. Um he couldn't even get 5 minutes into his speech where I'm sorry. So he couldn't get in 5 minutes into his speech without being interrupted.
Right.
And you start I knew then, okay, you can hear the mumbling, you can hear the signs, you can hear out the random outbursts. So I knew what this was about to be. Um, so when I seen, once he highlight the stories and I saw, oh, so anyway, they put him out of there. Took about 10 minutes after all the heckling to get him out of there. But hey, they got him out of there. It didn't matter because you start seeing other people standing up. Three women, maybe from the same three black women. It was a black woman, no, it was like two black women and a white woman. They all had on black shirts, and the back of their shirt says resist. And as
Mm.
it says resist, and they all walk out together. Now, from the inside, on camera TV, it looked like they was all full, did it? It looked full on TV, but in person, you can tell on the Democrat side, it was a lot of empty seats. I would say it's
Right.
about at least 30, 40, about 30, 40 empty seats all across Democrat side. And I said, so a lot of people didn't show up. Let's put it this way.
Yeah. And not to cut you
I
off,
thought you had to be there.
and purposely the camera was not showing them standing up supporting some of the things that Trump was saying or some of the guests that was there. So the media was kind of working in the Democrat favor too, with not
Yeah,
showing the disrespect of the Democrats last night.
yeah. And so for when I was sitting at, for when I was sitting at, you get to see all that. Now I'm on the top, on the highest level, well, the second highest level. There's one more level higher. And that seemed like there'd be all the reporters and all the people with laptops was recording and doing their summary or whatever. So you could just see all the heckling. You could see you seen the Democrats front and center giving him the side look, throwing up signs, waving him off. You seen all that stuff. So Trump was getting aggravated. You can tell. That's why he
Yeah,
was
you can
turning his
tell by
head
the
like
facial
this
expression how he's looking. But yeah,
because
we got a few
they
people.
right in front. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got a few people watching. We got Joseph Knowles. He was invited to be at Congress by Donald Trump himself. If you got a few questions you want to ask him, we're live. You can go in and ask him. BJ3 had another reply to the first question that we asked about the DEI. He had said, "Ask all the black coaches, is DEI allowed them to get in position to be head coaches? Trust me, it helped." them women refs and in the NBA. So he addressed that. So
So we got an issue with DEI though. So he
sound like
made
your
so.
mics kind of went low, Joe.
Can you hear me?
Okay, there you go.
We got a problem with it though, because when we hire DEI, you're not hiring the best of the best. You are hiring based on inclusion. You are hiring based on not skill, but a quota.
Right,
Do you want DEI as a doctor? If your life is your life is on, if you in that bed and you about to die, do you give a damn about DEI? Or do you want the
right,
best person? Do you want the best person to get you together? I don't know. I don't want DEI as a doctor. If I'm in surgery and it's life threatening, I don't want a DEI doctor. I want a
right. That you
doctor.
was put there just because
I
you
want
a
the
certain
best.
race or a certain
Yeah,
gender or
I want
whatnot.
the best. I want
Right,
the
you want the
best.
best. Yeah,
You want the best. Yeah, okay. If they happen to be white, so be it. It's your life on the line. Why do we want DEI? Why can't we as black people get the job or get placement without color?
right.
Why do I have to go there? Why can't I be on my skill set or my
Oh, they
brains? Why do I have to be on that?
Yeah, but yeah, and that should answer that question right there. But another question before I let you go, I'm not gonna keep you too long. I know you got to get up and probably go to work tomorrow. But I want to ask you a question about some of the things that Donald Trump was or are getting ready to sign into law. And it's another thing that the Democrats actually put in law. But all this shit with this transgender, just transgender thing. He put into effect that is only going to be two genders. And you got a lot of people that's upset about that. Give me your opinion. Elaborate on that. What's right is right. I think that was one of the things where Trump got my vote. Because the Democrats was leading us down this rabbit hole where I don't think a lot of people that was getting ready to vote for them was understanding where this was getting.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
And before you make your
Okay.
comment, I don't have anything against no one's gender,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
children,
Yeah.
children was being brought into this bullshit. You know what I mean? With these operations, with these surgeries, and just trying to confuse children. God only made you one way.
I agree with that. But the reason why it got to this point is because we have lost religion. We have lost our faith in God.
Okay.
What keeps us in check? Even if
Yeah.
you don't have to be a spiritual person. But when we was kids, remember when we was kids? And I brought this up before. But remember when we was kids? We would be bad as hell, right?
Right.
We wasn't bad. I'm talking about growing up, not our generation, our age, not these new kids today because they don't give a damn if they in church or whatever at home. They'll act a fool. But we used to be bad as hell, cussing, talking junk, saying all type of nasty stuff, whatever. But soon as we got to the church, okay, okay, I can't talk about it. This is a church. We have respect. That what kept
Right.
us in order. Now we don't have that anymore. We don't have nothing to keep us in line.
Right.
One thing about sin, and I am not going religious. I ain't a religious guy. I want to be, but I'm not. Once we go far left, your imagination takes you somewhere that you don't recognize anymore. And that's
Right.
what happened with the two ginger. It started off as what? I'm gay. Women, men and women, I'm gay. Then it leads to more. I'm gay. I want to be a transvestite. That's where we grew up, right?
Right.
Now it went from transvestite to transgender. Transgender means I'm changing something about me. And I'm
Right.
doing it with surgery. You see how it's going far and far and far and far off?
Yeah, we getting
We
it's
don't
getting
have yeah, it gets out of control. We have nothing to check us.
right. Yeah,
And that's how we got to 100 genders.
right. So I don't know how people can be against something that's actually right. Something that's going to help your kids, our kids, your grandchildren one day. You know what I mean? Be able to. um, go through this world without being confused, or even when it comes to dating, who wants to, you hear so many stories about men getting caught up with these trans
Catfish, catfish.
cases, called murder cases. You know what I mean? But I don't want to go too far off into that. But like I said, we're joined here with Joseph Knowles. He was invited by Donald Trump to be a guest at the speech that yesterday that in Congress. But Joseph, I'll give you the last word on everything. Let everybody know where they can reach you and what you got going on.
Listen, I'm Joseph Knowles. I got my Facebook page, Joseph Jojo Knowles, and I got YouTube. I don't even have a YouTube page. I mean, I have a YouTube page I set up. I haven't even got that far yet. Probably won't.
But do this
Because
like
huh?
what a star, local star now. You might want to get your Facebook page set up. Therefore, a lot of
You might
people
have
won't
to
be.
show me. You might have to show me because I have no idea how to do that. I see the nice equipment you got. I might
Yeah,
have to work some overtime to get it. But
yeah, yeah, for
you
sure.
know
Well,
what? Go ahead.
but yeah, you definitely need to get that set up. Because like I said, to those who's watching, Joseph, he's been on Fox News today. You guys can go and watch that interview. So
Yeah.
like I said again, let them know where they can reach you. If they have any questions and what you got going on, and
I
then
mean,
you can have the last words.
you gonna message me if anybody got questions or have an issue like Bernard J. You want to debate with me about the DEI stuff? I mean, you sound like you're passionate about it. It's cool. Yes,
Yeah,
let's talk about it because I can
yeah,
still
because
learn
he
from
had
you.
he
You
said
can
one
learn from me.
thing
I can
too.
learn
He
from
was
you.
like, how black folks was at the top of the class and still didn't get the job. But it's a lot that can be said. Maybe we'll have a conversation,
Yeah,
about
about that.
DEI.
Listen, I can go. It's the yeah. Anyway, you can message. You see me on Facebook. My name is Joseph Knows. Just type me up. You see my face. It's easy to find me. I got two pages. Any one of us fine. I check all my messages, and I get messages all across. Like today, I could probably got about 100 messages across the world today. I
I
didn't know
already know you
Fox.
have. That's why I said I got it.
I
Let me get
respond
an
to about
interview.
20 of them.
Yeah,
Fox News just right now has messaged me and trying to get me to come into the studios tomorrow. I don't know if I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm missing
right.
money, but
Well, hey, I say take advantage of all situations.
you never know where it puts you at. I get it.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
so you can reach me there. But I just want to make a quick point because just talking about the Capitol will taking longer than how long I've been on here because during his speech, I don't. I just want to say this. I don't get how we got so caught up in politics. These people are rich.
Right.
They know how to make each other rich. When you most politician comes in with whatever they start off with, they end up leaving with 100 times four of what they made. So if the politician make 100,000 before they 4 to 8 years is up, because however long they run, right, they multimillionaires. They've been taught the game and they teach each other the game. We are so divided with each other. We hate each other so much. We get so caught up in what they're saying that we lose sight of what we in this for. We're not in this to be right. We in this to get what we can get to better ourselves. And we get
Exactly.
so caught up on the politics of things. Yesterday, being at the Capitol building yesterday has taught me a lot of how the Democrats, even though it was wrong in a lot of areas, they were still on cold. Republicans, right or wrong on a lot of things, they still on cold. Me and everyone else, we debating on a small thing that's not benefiting any one of us.
Right.
You haven't benefited nothing from this. When we vote, we gotta leave the emotional side out of it. Leave it out.
I agree.
At this point, we have to vote, and we got to start voting with unity, and we got to vote to better ourselves. I did not vote Democrat this go around. Has nothing to do with me being a sellout. I want to be white, and none of this other stuff that I've been hearing. It's strictly
Right.
about being able to provide for my family. And what Trump was saying yesterday related to me at home more than what the Democrats were talking about. D- Donald Trump
Exactly.
was talking about lowering taxes, no tax on tips. In the line of work that I work for, we make most of our money on overtime. And when you do a lot of overtime where we at, About 30 to 40% of it goes through taxes. Do
Right.
you know how much that 30% of that income tax, that tax, I can keep?
Yeah, that
That
would
can
benefit us.
that can
The
put
workers, I should say.
that can help pay my car note. That can help my son. My son right now needs some little after school tutoring. I can use that for that. There's a whole bunch of things that we could be doing with that extra money with that tour with the overtime money. Do you know how
Right.
much just working overtime and we could just keep that money? How much can lift most of us out of poverty?
Right. See,
It
and
would
I agree with you
nobody even think
100%.
about that.
And I went into it with the same mindset. I've been a Democrat my entire life. I voted. But this go around, I went with what made sense. Who was keeping me, in business and in work. And this time it was Donald Trump. So that's what you hit on a lot of key points. Where our people don't understand. We just go off of what's been fed to us. Versus you know um true facts and what's in reality. What I mean. What was
Hmm.
going on is the Democrats had issued in all these regulations, and I'm talking about for the auto industry, that
Yeah,
was getting ready to put a lot of people out of work. So it only made sense for people like you, like for me and you know to go that route. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So
We
I don't pay attention to when people say sellouts and stuff like that, because at one point in time, we all black people were Republicans. You know what I mean?
but
So
but but
it's not about being black or white. It's about
how is you
benefiting yourself and your family. Go ahead, Joe.
how is I'm a sellout? And I'm not defending myself. I don't have to. I don't have to. I probably got more money than most people out here, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. Make more money than most people out here. I drive a nice car. I got three new cars,
Right.
and I'm talking about three new trucks, not used, brand new. I got three on my side right now. And I'm gonna tell you something. That didn't happen based on uh some handouts. I had to work for it. They all have its
Right.
purpose for why they're out there. But I'm gonna say this though. We are our own issue. We're our own problem. We get so, like I said, we get so caught up in the politics of things that we're not even thinking about what benefit us. I'm a sell out for voting Republican. You don't feel like you're a sell out for voting Democrat?
Right.
What
You-
I mean, it's the same people. They both have, oh, Donald Trump is by his own agenda. I thought all politicians are there for their own agenda. What makes Donald Trump any different? They are there for a reason. That most of them, some of them are doing it for the love of other people. I doubt it though, but that's what they said. Most people are there to get rich because
right.
there's a code, there's something that comes from being in power in Congress and the executive branch. You could get money. It's business will align with you. You learn. Listen, if I'm a sellout for being a Republican, then you a sellout for being a Democrat. You a sellout. You a sellout for not even trying for keep voting. Like Malcolm X says, we blindly vote. We blindly vote. He said that make you a chump. When you blindly give your vote to someone who only come around when it's election time, that makes you a chump. He said
Yeah,
you are a sellout.
and
That's what
we've been
Malcolm
doing
X
that for the
said.
last 30 to 40 years, Joseph.
Man, we
You
ain't got
know,
nothing but food stamps and free Medicaid and free housing.
and that's it. But look, I don't want to keep you long.
All right, man,
It's
I'm
definitely
sad. You gotta
it's
go out
definitely
there.
been a
You can
good show. Like I said, I'm gonna definitely invite you back. We're gonna have to do a show on DI. There was a few people that made a few comments on that. But like I said, I definitely want to thank you for coming on to the show. It's been my pleasure for having you on, and like I said, I want to thank you again for coming on to the show.
yeah, man.
So
Appreciate you even take the time
I
out.
don't have anything else to offer. It's your boy Dame D, and we are out. Peace.
Peace out, man.